NaVi.
All right, we're inside of the draft, and since Bruno and James are having some interesting conversation off to our right, Ted, how you feeling, man?
Andy, I'm feeling great. Just seen Lich first ban, the most winningest hero in pub games, as I said yesterday, and Elder Titan ban and a Venom ban. These are popular heroes at the moment.
They are pretty popular. I would say that Lich, I'm kind of riding that train now where I think he's a little bit overrated in terms of what he can actually bring to a team. Just because the laning phase is pretty important, but people are starting to deviate a bit more, and their flexibility is becoming better and better due to picking better first and second picks. I think a lot of it had to do with when 6.79 came out, you were getting your hands on like the highest value heroes first in terms of how good you think they are, and then you don't pick any supports, and then your lanes become super predictable, and that's when Lich becomes strong, because you can just be like, oh yeah, you have no flexibility, I'm going to put a Lich here, and he's just going to screw this lane over. Now you can't really get away with doing it as much anymore. But NaVi, they're starting things off with a Clockwork, very strong hero in his own right. You have actually been playing him quite a bit.
I've been playing him almost non-stop, because I think I randomed him in a game, and I thought, or actually I'd watched Funnick play him, and I thought, well, I'm going to try Clockwork. And he's just so much fun. I mean, really, really so much fun.
I love how Dendy decides to play for EG now and not NaVi. I must have slipped things. It's cool.
What happened?
It is.
Well, I'm just watching there, and I was like,
oh, right.
Yeah, I flipped the logos.
Okay.
It's kind of funny.
It's okay, Bruno.
You'll forgive me. Still, EG or not EG, Dendy is one of the most impressive players, Smith. I mean,
he is.
He is.
He has
not in the last game we saw him play, but
no, not really. But at the same time, he does bring a lot to the table. He is one of these, as Andy was saying, over-aggressive kind of players that because of his high technical skill, it pays off for him.
He's a playmaker for sure.
But these guys are doing great, and now we see the two picks from EG. And before we talk about the Gyrocopter, this Crystal Maiden and Bounty Hunter, what do you think of that, Andy?
Radiant team ban.
Well, I would say that picking a Bounty Hunter against a Clockwork is okay, because you already think to yourself, Clockwork is likely going to be played by Funnick. We've seen Dendy play it once, I think, in the entire league so far. So that is also a possibility that they have left open. But I think when you pick Clockwork this early on, you really want to give it to Funnick to make sure that Dendy can get his hands on something that can be a little bit more aggressive. I think that NaVi and EG both are just saying, you know what, we're not going to back down from aggressive styles because we pick CM and Bounty. You don't pick those two heroes unless you want to try to fight. So I'm thinking that EG are going to be going aggressive. NaVi, they pick up a Gyrocopter who even as a carry can do substantial early game damage with call down. Rocket Barrage is pretty insane, to be honest.
Why is Crystal Maiden an aggressive pick?
Well, she gives you mana regeneration if you decide to go for the max aura build, and she's also one of the only supports that has a double nuke and two almost methods of pure disable. Obviously Frostbite is one.
Right.
But then you have Nova 2, which is a slow. And even at level 1, I think it's 3.5 seconds of slow, which is really powerful. So her ability to get kills is very good. And that's why people usually consider her more of an aggressive hero.
Okay.
Now, speaking of these, we probably see here the two offlaners already with Clock and Bounty Hunter. However, given the new patch, it's very likely that one of these teams decides to go for an aggressive trialing. We still don't have enough information. If that was the case, then Bounty Hunter and Clock would face each other in the lane. Who do you think has the advantage in that matchup in particular?
Clock for sure. Just because even if you can spam invisibility, you can never really trade with the Clockwork. Any melee hero against Clock, I think, is at an inherent disadvantage. I think Timbersaw is maybe one of the only heroes who's melee who can get away with that. But otherwise, you're going to be running into cogs. It's a very low mana cost, and the damage and mana that you take away from the Bounty Hunter because of that is a huge deal. And if you ever get caught out of position, once the Clockwork starts getting a couple of levels, if he manages to beat you to 6, you can very easily get ganked by just one support and the Clockwork, because if you get stuck in cogs, you're just going to die. So if you're the Bounty and the Clockwork and the 1v1, you're probably just looking to soak experience, get as much CS as you can, but never directly trade with him, just because you'll probably come out worse for it.
And now with that, we see the Magnus. And with the Magnus there, we see some hero that didn't really appear that much in 679. But it hasn't really been nerfed at all, nor particularly buffed.
It got nerfed a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was just damage on RP.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the time for the Magnus? I'm asking you, Pyrian, because you like, I don't know if you played Magnus.
I used to play an awful lot of Magnus because, you know, I like the sort of showy teamfight spells where you either land it and everybody thinks you're a genius, or you whiff it and everyone forgives you because they understand you're an idiot. So I kind of like those. That's why I like Sand King, because of the Epi, Magnus's RP, these kind of spells. I think that's why I'm kind of transitioning more into heroes like Clock, who are useful throughout, and not just one spell. But all his spells are good. Even just Rocket Flare is absolutely ridiculous if you think about it, because global vision is very low cost and it does damage as well. I got a kill today with Rocket Flare level 1, which made me very excited.
Really?
Yes, but Magnus is a fantastic hero. Dendy's Magnus was, he went 2 and 6, pulled it back to 6. He essentially went 6 and 2 after that. So I think it's smart to take him away from Dendy, but I don't know, there's still a lot of heroes out there that Dendy likes to play.
My biggest problem with picking the Magnus here is that you already have Visage and you have Clockwork. So you have 2 heroes who can put your blink on cooldown and really force awkward engagements to where you have to either force a skewer in to try to go for an RP, which is a heck of a lot harder than blinking in, and then you're just going to be taking damage. And
then you just stood there.
Yeah. It's like the time where you're wet boss and you're like, I blinked. I totally blinked.
Yeah.
I mean, that can happen, and that's the problem when you're playing against these types of heroes. So I would actually say that NaVi right now, I like their draft a little bit more, but we haven't seen what carry EG are going to be picking just yet. After seeing a Magnus, sometimes you want to pick up a carry that's not going to go for a straight BKB so you can actually make use of Empower. But I'm not sure what they're going to go for, because against a Clockwork and a Visage, there's not a lot of ranged heroes that you would pick in this situation unless you want to go something like a Mirana and just go super aggressive and play it as a 1, because it adds quite a bit of damage and you already have a Bounty Hunter anyway, and you've already taken out Lifestealer. So the options for EG, a bit limited. We'll see what they go for.
And with this, it would be nice to have Ember Spirit in the game.
Yeah.
Because people are talking so much. Wow.
Gosh.
I don't know about that.
Well, you wanted something that had to do with Empower.
Yeah, but PA needs a BKB against these heroes. That's the problem.
If she goes Vanguard or something like that.
I guess with the bounty, they could get more money. And kind of, maybe that open, we'll go aggressive, and we get lots of track kills.
EG is the one team who actually did do the Vanguard PA, and it was Jo who did it. So if anyone's going to be doing that early game kind of hit point oriented build in the PA and just try to go for fights, it's going to be them. But I just feel like it's a little bit weird, because you pick a PA in situations where the other team has things like Fury and split push teams that don't have a lot of lockdown and a lot of just spam ability, but NaVi has that and a lot of it. If you ever get caught in cogs as PA, you can blink away, but if you get caught out by a stun or a shackle, that hero just dies. Her strength gain is horrid.
Yeah, that's true.
Might that be why they go for Vanguard on her? Like,
well, yeah, it is, because if you go for drums, sometimes that's not even enough. It just doesn't give you enough tank ability. But if you have a Vanguard and you have like Treads, and then you go Vlad's, which I think is the build that Jo went when he did it, it gives you enough durability to sustain those kind of opening nukes. And if you RNG, you're still going to do a good amount of damage. So if you get a couple
of fair amount as well, right?
Yeah,
so,
it's 40% when you max it out. Not saying that he'll have it that high that early. He'll probably still max dagger and his blink first, but you still get 20% at level 1, which is pretty hefty.
Yeah.
And again, the hero is based a lot around RNG, so if you still get lucky, your damage output will still be fine. I feel like it's a risky hero to try to run, though.
I'm just thinking, if you remember, and speaking about critics, like that's lucky to proc, but I was thinking, do you remember that NaVi versus EG game when Fear was running this Ven, and there was this Ven Darkseer combo, that the Darkseer vacuum.
He got the ultra kill.
Yeah, that ultra kill one. Maybe they want to do the same. They don't have the Darkseer here, but they do have the Magnus. And if they decide to go Empower, and maybe if they decide, I wouldn't agree, but they decide to go Battle Fury on Phantom Assassin, they could make a replay of that big. But I'm seeing your face right now.
It's like, and a game plan entirely around that.
Well,
I mean, I'd love to see it. I hope they do that.
You know, the thing
about
Phantom Assassin, it's and this actually makes more sense. Their last pick right now, because we'll see a Wisp with that. And thinking about this, the thing about Phantom Assassin, I think it's one of the weakest carries in the game, but at the same time, because it has that crit that can win you a fight in one hit. You're kind of going for the, let's just hope it works out.
Yeah.
If it does,
this is even more aggressive, isn't it? The Wisp pick, because now they've got the global gank squad. Basically, find someone with bounty, drop a PA or a Magnus or something on them with Wisp. That's quite powerful, isn't it?
It is.
5 seconds
Go ahead. I wanted to say, My biggest gripe with that hero is why not just pick CK instead of the PA? Like why not just pick CK?
Yeah.
Because it essentially accomplishes the same thing. Blink Strike is Reality Rift. Of course, Blink Strike gives you attack speed, but CK's inherent damage is still going to be higher. It's not as RNG based. He's a strength hero. So you can go for things like Treads, Drums, Armlet, don't have to rush a BKB, full benefit from Empower.
And he doesn't even need
And he
much.
doesn't explode when somebody looks at him.
He hardly needs anything. Like,
That's really why I'm wondering why PA. Are you really that worried?
Because Loda did it.
Are you that worried about cogs, though? Are you that worried about cogs that you're going to pick PA solely on the fact that you can just blink out of it? I mean, you can Reality Rift out of cogs, too. It's not as good, but you can still do it. So I'm kind of just sitting here going, man, if you wanted to play a super aggressive team, a Wisp CK Bounty against Navi's lineup, it would be a guaranteed kill on any of those heroes as soon as the CK pretty much has treads.
True. And the CK is so much better against the Gyrocopter as well.
Yeah.
So, all good points there.
I'm just saying, I'm not on a professional team. I'm just giving my opinion.
No, of course. At the same time, best laid plans of mice and men, right?
Yes.
Prepare for battle.
So, yeah.
Well, we're going to hop inside of the game now. Everyone's going to be taking up their heroes. For me, I think that if Na'Vi don't give away too many kills, they're going to be just fine. Once track starts coming out, that's going to be when EG are going to be going on full-out aggression. They have RP. Hopefully the Magnus gets his blink relatively early inside of the game. And it is going to be, from the looks of things, a defensive lane coming out from EG. So I saw the CM, I saw the Wisp and the PA. There is potential to go aggressive with that lane, but it's an all-in. Basically, if the lane fails, it's bad.
It is really bad. That Wisp, always people say when you have Wisp, you can't really run an aggressive tri-lane. At the same time, Wisp has one of the biggest damage potential with the Spirits at level 1 and at level 4. Level 4, it's 500 damage.
Yeah.
Level 1 is, I think, 125, which it's not that much, but for a level 1, again, you have to hit all the balls, which sometimes can be that easy.
It's really hard to hit all your balls.
Look at this, by the way. they're going to pull the creeps so far with the cogs because they got Windrunner to come inside here and power shot down through the trees.
No, he's just saving the tangos. Like, normally you do that with tangos.
But then he ate a tree as well.
Really?
Yeah, like down here.
That's a lot of food.
So this is going to come all the way down here. I'm intrigued to see what happens.
Anyways,
I think it's a little bit of a waste to do this now, isn't it? Because the creep wave already meets pretty far up the lane.
Yeah.
You can just regularly body block it because of how slow the creeps start in the off lane, and it would essentially accomplish the same thing.
Yeah.
Unless he wants to just completely block off the creeps, which I don't think he can do. But we'll see.
Maybe he can. He's coming. Oh, he misses one. Okay. That's good. I think it's important to deny levels to this. That creep didn't
only two
go.
of them.
Yeah.
That one was drunk.
That one didn't care about that. But yeah, I think it's important to deny as much experience in the early game to that Crystal Maiden especially. You don't want her to get to level 2 until you get a couple levels yourself. So you know, to make sure everything's going to work out fine, because the nuking potential at level 2 is pretty strong.
But if you do it, she can just go jungle, can't she?
She can, but you're forcing her to go jungle. And then in that case, you're just against a Wisp and a PA in the lane, which is not as intimidating. And he keeps failing the pulls.
Yeah,
but Kuro is taking the farm there. So I kind of like this 2-1-2 setup where Clockwork sacrifices a little bit of experience and just gets the help from Windrunner, but he gives up really fast and it's like, well, this really didn't work.
It's no fun being an under-leveled Clockwork, though, because you've got to get in there, haven't you? That's the thing. You've got to get in there. You've got a cogs, you've got a battery assault, you've got a hookshot. So if you're under-leveled, I always find you get way behind.
Well, we also have to keep in mind that if these two heroes are both bottom, like Funnick and Kuro together, they can contest the pole easily. There's not enough damage right now on EG until those supports start getting a couple of levels, like 2 or 3 minimum, to where they can potentially go for kills on either of these heroes. So depending on how they play it, I think Na'Vi could potentially get a lot out of their offlane. Meanwhile, Universe top, he's like, if he gets caught in a bad position, he will just die because of how much damage Rocket Barrage and Soul Assumption does together. And Puppy's already level 2. So all they have to do is catch him out once, and it's more or less a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, the thing is that they already used both their sentries in trying to get him. So while he will have his movement restricted, he probably knows by this point that where Hvos is standing right now, there's no sentry detection.
Puppy still has one, actually.
Oh, that's actually, he's running to the wrong side.
Puppy does still have one.
Puppy still has one more. That's true.
So, like, yeah, they put one mid, I think, just to help Dendy in case Bounty turned up.
But yeah,
Universe even buys boots too. Oh, bottom lane, Kuro. Gonna be forced to use his Wind Run. Yeah. Tether onto Fear, but no Blink or Dagger. And Kuro, he actually goes back in. Power Shot's gonna land after the Cogs. Battery Assault's there as well. And First Blood gonna be not given to NaVi directly, but the creeps secure the kill, and still very, very nice. Top lane as well. Universe getting caught out, eats a full Rocket Barrage. Universe going to trade a couple of hits there.
Yeah. He thought he might have traded positively and maybe get a hit on the boss, but he decided not to because when the
Fear. He's going to be caught out. He does have enough mana to blink Defogged, and will do so. But even just forcing him to use that mana, it means that he has no mobility. And now Funnick looking to go in once again. His Cogs are going to be off cooldown in a second. He even has boots, goes for the level 2 Battery Assault. He's looking to try to die Fogged onto the tower. Fog waiting till he gets in tower range to throw out the bite, but he dies too fast. He doesn't get the Frostbite off in time. And it's another kill. This time, it's Funnick's.
And this lane down bottom is dominating right now. They're having so much fun with those two offlaners. And this is kind of interesting because when you see offlaners, you see heroes that want to get levels and don't mind much about farm. But with this setup, they're getting exactly the opposite. They're getting gold. They're not getting as much experience as they would normally get. But it works anyways.
And this is another reason why I think that you would want a CK in this lane. Because if it's a CK, and you stun and you Reality Rift, you pull the Windrunner back into a position where the supports can actually do damage, as opposed to PA, who can only blink on the hero herself.
Yeah.
And then if you can't do any damage, then the blink is more or less wasted. So I still feel as though the PA, for me, maybe not the best pick in this type of situation, but there's still a lot of Dota to be played.
Yep.
I just feel as though the tri-lane is not going well for EG.
Oh, what? Is PA rushing a Battle Fury?
Well, it could still be Vanguard.
That could still be Vanguard. Would the Vanguard make more sense than Battle Fury?
Well, if you go Battle Fury and you have a Bounty Hunter on your team, I feel like it's a little bit of a waste of the bounty, don't you think?
I think so as well. Yeah. But the problem right now is also, it feels like the Midas on the Weaver in yesterday's game as well. Just trying to go too greedy.
But that actually ended up being okay. Like, the item pickup ended up being fine.
But not because Team Liquid gave them the time to do that. The game kind of just sort of disappeared for 20 minutes. Everybody just went about their business, and then one massive fight ended it.
And now the Bounty Hunter feels that he has enough levels to actually rotate around. So he went a little bit mid. Now he's going back top, trying to see if he finds a little bit more experience. But he's level 4. He was doing all right. He didn't get a kill, but he didn't get killed anyways. And now the rotation comes up, and maybe this is time for this Bounty Hunter to just start being more active. And with the help of a couple support, kill Havos or even Puppy.
Yep, Dust is going to be there as well. Universe now realizing the mistake that he's made, and the tether comes in from Jo. Havos is going to be the one going down. Spirit's doing quite a bit of damage. Universe should die in the end, or not. No. He actually doesn't fall. Manages to live with about 30 HP after that engagement, and EG pulling out a very nice bait, but in the bottom lane, Fear dies. So as nice as getting those 2 kills were, you still lose your carry in the process.
That's a tough lane for him to be up against as well.
Well, yeah, of course. They just realized, they say, look, our supports have already died to the duo off lane, which is one of the biggest problems that heroes like CM and Wisp have, is that if they ever get engaged on, they're not very good at stopping it. All really either of them can do is tether, and that's just a Wisp. The CM doesn't have any escape mechanism, and we saw how hard it is for Fog to deal with a Clockwork, so.
It's always nice when you're playing a clock to see heroes like CM on the other team, because you know that if you land the hook, it's almost certainly a kill.
At the same time, it might be too obvious of a bait. You don't want to waste
you gotta eat the bait.
Puppy running into Jo and Fog inside of the woods. Frostbite's going to be there. Grave Shield just wearing off. Puppy likely not going to be making it away from this one. Dendy coming in, though. He wants to try to get Jo. Flame breaks there. Puppy is still alive. Finally goes down. Jo is going to be dropping another Frostbite, this time onto Dendy. Here comes MSS. He even throws out the RP just to make sure they get the kill. Had 7 wand charges there. I think he could have just shockwaved, but...
That was a really good kill for EG. Unfortunately, Jo didn't seem to be able to micro his spirits very good, because he was never in range of Puppy, and Puppy survived for way longer than he should have. The silver lining is that just because Puppy survived that match was that then they decided to engage as aggressively. Maybe if they killed Puppy before, then they would have said, oh, just get back to my tower. That got him a free kill.
Oh, Universe gonna eat the call down from Havos. He really wants the kill. The second call down is going to get him.
Yep.
Oh, middle lane, Funnick gonna get frostbitten, throws out the cogs. Jo doing a lot of damage with spirits. Funnick pops the wand though. He's gonna be fine for the time being. Dendy actually goes for a lasso on MSS just to make sure that there wasn't gonna be a skewer or shockwave or anything like that. And lasso on cooldown now. It's 4-6, and A lot of movement early. It's only 7 minutes in.
And Fear's still farming.
10 kills in 7.5 minutes. We had 10 kills in 6 minutes.
I wouldn't say he's farming. He has 19 CS at 7.5 minutes, and he's 0-2. I wouldn't say that that is farming.
Yeah.
For a very special definition of farming. Maybe now with Universe here, they can get Kuro.
Well, he's not even 6.
No, but maybe a Janata.
I mean, he gets a Janata. Dagger comes out. Kuro pops his wind run very early. They should be able to get this, actually.
Yeah.
Kuro running to the tower. No TP reaction coming at all from NaVi. They stop?
Wow.
What?
They stop? Wow, that is some fear.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
When you're 0-2 and you get not even boots, sometimes you're like, I don't know.
Just imagine if they had track for that.
Yeah, that would have been a kill. However, when you're Fear, you don't want to die again. Because even if you get the Windrunner kill and then some support comes and you can't run away fast enough, I don't know. I think Fear played it safe and he had to. Oh.
MSS getting spotted out in the woods. Funnick trying to make sure he positions himself properly for the skewer when it does come. But now they turn it around. It's a 3 versus 1, and Funnick's like, well, this isn't necessarily a fair fight. But another kill goes the way of EG.
EG starting to turn things around, and now with that, they're creating space in the bottom. It's not the clock anymore with Kuroki. It's just Kuroki there against Fear, and Fear might be more comfortable in this situation right now. At the same time, Dandy mid, he has been getting a lot of last hits. He's second, just only behind Havos. His Blink Dagger is not too far away, but this is the moment where Batrider really doesn't do much. Once, maybe in 2 minutes, or maybe even less, he gets his Blink Dagger now. Suddenly, G will be in a little bit more trouble.
Well, the cool thing about Batrider is that once he does get Blink, since you have Gyro on your team, if you pull somebody far enough out of position, they just die super hard to Rocket Barrage.
That's good. They've got Bat and Clock to initiate with. So
oh, nice shackle from Kuroki, but
yeah, there's more coming. I think it might have been a bit early. Dagger comes out from Fear.
Oh, they see Fog.
Fog's gonna spot Havos, throws at the cooldown, gonna miss. Hits the creep wave. He's gonna get frozen in place, and the hook shot actually hits Kuro. Funnick, he just hits his own team.
Dive.
That was one of those.
You should go dive now. There's a lot of creeps.
They're thinking about it. They killed the whole creep wave, so they could have very easily gone for this. They're starting to ping it out. Havos is going to be the first one in. Fear now getting caught out. Rocket Barrage and the... How the heck did that manage to latch? That was so far. Double TP coming in. MSS is first. Universe coming in second. Fog going to be dying here to Funnick in the side. Power shot. MSS goes down without even using RP. Kuro is stuck onto the tower, but I think he's going to be more than fine with that.
Oh,
going to drop the aggro as well. Puppy dropping his sentry. Grape Chill's gonna be there. He even has the dust. Oh man, Universe.
Another shackle.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
That was like the weirdest slash, I don't know if I want to try to defend my tower. Okay, their team's coming. All right, they're not using any of their abilities. We're just gonna kill them all. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that was strange. They kind of dribbled in.
Yeah.
Like MSS didn't use a skill.
Nope.
Like he just teleported in. He's like, all right, I'm here.
He shockwaved once.
Okay, yeah, okay, he shockwaved. But he didn't skewer it. He didn't RP. He just died.
Yep. That's not really nice for EG right now.
Yeah.
He was 5 and 6.
Yeah.
4-2-0 and the tower. Now that must be nice for NaVi. And Dandy was not there at all.
Yeah.
He was just still farming the mid lane. So now he has a dagger, I think.
Yes, he does. And a haste rune.
And a haste rune. And lasso. And thirst for blood.
Yep.
I just want to say,
please.
PA is terrible from behind. Like, I'm not kidding. It's like one of the worst heroes in the game to be behind as. But bottom engagement, Funnick, he's got Cogs in Universe right now doing some damage. Kuro gets a 2-man shackle, will eventually fall. It's a 4 versus 1. The freezing field comes out and Fear goes down. The battery assault stops the freezing field. Fog's going to be forced to throw out his frostbite on Funnick, who does eventually drop, but not before Fog dies himself. And the rest of EG is just following it up with their deaths. It's a 4-for-2 exchange, and NaVi are just taking brilliant team fights all over the map.
Yikes.
But lots of squishy heroes on EG. And yeah, what are you going to...
And then he's level 11. MSS is level 9.5. Dandy is already level 11. Granted, the lasso, like level 2 and 3 don't matter that much, especially at this point of the game before you have the 4 staff.
But he's going to have his 4 staff and 600 gold in
12
minutes in.
Wowie.
That's the thing. And as EG, I have to be scratching my head. It's like beating on a dead horse, but it's like, should we really have gone with the PA?
Yeah. I feel like CK is pretty much what you want out of PA, but better. And in the early game, at least. I think that the later the game goes, PA starts to become more relevant because her abilities are good at staying on targets, for which for a melee hero is nice because you have range heroes like Gyrocopter and Bat and, well, pretty much everyone in NaVi except for a Clockwork. And your mobility technically is better because your blink is on a very short cooldown. So I get where they were coming from, but they kind of just forgot about the first 25 minutes of the game and how bad PA is until that point has passed.
Oh, wow.
But
Oh gosh, no, sorry.
Universe
I
gets
was
cogs.
going to
Yes.
say. Holy cow. I thought it was like the most random dust you've ever seen, but then I looked at the bottom and of course there's a wall there. What is...
No
what
way,
a,
man.
what a
He
bit of
just has
luck.
like spider sense.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Universe is having a nightmare right here. He started out fine. He was dodging the sentries and everything, but now with Funnick already level 6, the shackle shot's becoming a threat, and it's maxed out. It's level 9 already.
Radiant's top tower has
I don't know.
fallen.
I don't think Kuro has missed a
Radiant's
shackle.
middle tower
Yeah, he's
is
been
under
really
attack.
spot on.
Awesome ones. And they're going to get Magnus here too.
MSS getting caught out. Fear goes in, gets a crit, does
Nice.
essentially no damage. MSS still alive, will eventually die to the Firefly Universe. He wants to go for Dendi here. Fog's going to be coming in from the side along with Jo. It's going to be a kill on Dendi. Puppy coming back in, doing quite a bit of damage. Soul Assumption's going to be there with the urn as well. Familiar's chasing down Jo. He's trying to bottle through the damage. Dust going to be popped. Hookshot comes in from Funnick. Fog going to be the target. Habos comes in. Doesn't get the kill secure, unfortunately. Funnick is going to be the one to get that.
And Wisp ran away. Yeah,
Yeah?
Wisp escaped.
What a cowardly ball.
Can't blame the ball. Well, what can you do? You're a ball.
Why?
He's a mystical
Like,
ball of light or something.
what's a ball doing in Dota? Like, I'm a ball. I spit little balls.
Look, he was tired of circling trees for his entire life, and he decided that he wanted to be more of a
Give
gamer.
me mana. That's what you are, ball.
What is Visage meant
No, not
to
mana.
be
Wood.
anyway?
Not even
He's
mana.
a dirt bird, man.
What's a dirt bird?
It's a literal bird made out of dirt.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a dirt bird.
I got you.
Yes.
He's... So,
4 stuff now on Bat Rider.
4 stuff now on Bad Rider.
He's insanely farmed for this early stage.
Yeah.
And
Hi,
he's going to
Jo.
find Jo. And Jo's like, well, I tried, team.
This
And
was
then
fun.
I was
See?
a ball.
Yeah.
Balls? Come on. You can't do anything there. You can roll. Bounce, maybe. Does Wish bounce? Do you think he bounces?
No.
Ah.
I don't think beings of pure energy bounce.
Well, I just
Clock.
imagine, like, I go to the beach and I'm like, oh, we forgot the volleyball. Wisp, can you be the ball?
Funnick just killed PA solo up top there, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
What a
state of
hard
affairs.
life.
Oh, Universe,
Dust
you
going
got
to be
clipped.
popped. Universe going to be chased down here. Puppy coming in from the side as well. There's nothing he can really do about this. Just going
This
to drop.
is getting ugly.
It's been ugly for a while.
Yeah.
I'd
But
say
it's
ever
only
since the
15
laning
minutes.
phase,
Yeah.
since Universe wasn't going to get much from top no matter what, Gyrocopter is actually very good at most offlane heroes because he can just rocket barrage and pressure you so much and push the lane so hard that not many heroes can actually
is Gio
1
doing
versus
there?
1 against him.
Gio?
I don't know, Gio's drunk. Like, Gio is actually drunk. He's like, no, it's okay, I have my spirits, I'm not going to get ganked.
They can't see me.
And then Puppy's like, I'm going to hit you with my birds because birds are dicks.
They are.
He's still chasing.
That they are.
Funnick does not have hook right now, but they are going to be chasing. And top lane, they're
Oh,
going to get a
solid
kill
decoy.
on Fog
Oh,
as well. Here
nice.
comes the RP, manages to land on 3. Skewer comes out as well. The call down hits 3 on EG as well, and MSS is like, I don't want this at all. It's a triple kill for Hobost, and everyone on the side of EG is dropping quite low. Flare comes out. Universe actually body blocks the hook shot, but it doesn't really seem to matter. He has
Universe.
45 HP and 15 wand charges. Is this his time? Funnick, he decides to throw out a Cogs, blink in onto Dendi, and even though Fear does almost no damage, he still has the RNG to get the crits. Like, that's the most entertaining thing about this match, is that even though he doesn't have any farm, he still manages to crit and get
Oh,
kills.
fogged. Well, there's a BKB on
that's a
close at
BKB,
16 minutes.
I've made a horrible mistake. Please help. Havos is getting so greedy right now. He even gets the kill with the flag.
Oh my God.
He just hits the tower and gets the kill.
And Universe is like, mine.
Oh, yep,
oh,
that's a
not
thousand
the
gold.
ghost.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of moolah.
The comeback. Funnick might drop 2. Universe is here. He's gonna not
No.
get hit by the cogs. How the heck did that not hit him?
Oh,
Blade Mail's pop. Universe. Oh my! And the mech from Kuro and the oh boy. I think that's when you just say, you know what? We've
Not-
done enough for
not our
today.
day, friends.
Screw these. We're going to the fountain.
I mean, to be fair, it's 38 kills in a 17-minute game. We can't
Yeah.
complain that this game has been slow paced.
No.
No.
That's the first shackle I think he's missed all
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. Well, he missed a couple others, but they were completely irrelevant.
Radiant's top tower is under
Well, that one
attack.
was too, so we just don't count the hooks that were irrelevant?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
or
count the ones
not
that
the
are
hooks,
clutch.
but the shackles.
Clutch
Yep.
shackles
Yep.
only, please.
Okay.
No, I meant irrelevant in the sense that he shackled someone. It didn't latch, but it was enough for someone to reach him. The mini stun was enough.
Yeah.
In this case,
I know what
this
you
is the
mean.
first shackle that didn't really accomplish anything. Shame on you, Kuro.
Have they
Damn it,
changed
girl.
Windrunner in like? They did change her focus fire so that she can move and still use
Yes.
focus fire, right? But
Well,
that's,
she always could. Focus fire was never a channeling ability.
It
I'm
was
so-
always just like if you
but they
don't
did,
break
what did they
target.
change? What did they did
No,
change something?
the
Didn't
thing is that before,
right.
you would focus fire someone, you could use your skills, but unless you attack someone else or something else, you'll still be focus firing that person,
Okay.
like when you attack them. The way they changed it now, and I think there might be some fun.
There was a track. MSS thinking about going and blinks away instead. He's like, nope, do not want.
Right now, the focus fire sticks in the target, and you can do anything else. You can attack other people, you can do whatever.
And when you go back to that target, you
it's still
focus.
focus.
Dendy, he's going to find Universe. Poor Universe. Jo goes in. He's like, I
he's
want to
still
save my
alive.
team. Universe still alive somehow. Okay,
There
there
we
we go. Finally does go down. Hook shot being thrown out onto Jo. No way he's getting away from that. A shackle onto MSS. Power shot's going to land on 2. Call-down's there as well. MSS wants the heck out of here. Funnick, he wants the cogs. Doesn't get MSS, unfortunately. And now he's getting beat on by the tower. You can just see the aggressive style of NaVi. Like, they always play this way. And when they win really hard doing
Yeah.
it.
Is Havost a very aggressive player for a carry? I know he farms.
Yeah,
it.
he is.
He's
He's,
also
he's
skinny.
known for his
Yes.
aggression.
Fallen. Radiant's bottom
Like, that's
tower
why
is
you
under
give him
attack.
Gyrocopter, because Gyrocopter can do that and get away with it, which is really good.
Remember, he used to be Hobos 4.
Yeah.
It's because he would jump on 4 people as one. Yeah. And he still get killed.
He did it earlier. He went on 3 basically as
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Hey, no one will ever forget the Alchemist
Oh my god, that was so
at
crazy.
TA3.
That
I was
incredible.
watching that and going, this is actually happening. Like, he's actually going to kill all of them.
Yeah, amazing.
Great place for this guy. And right now, it's ROG time because it's not 20 minutes yet, but your Bat Rider has a Shadow Blade.
Yeah.
And that's the state of affairs.
That is
Why
nice.
not?
Gotta move fast, right? Next item, Mask of Madness, then Sanjin Yasha.
Got to pad that win rate.
Yeah.
I always do that. I buy like 2 or 3 just to make sure that the win rate is like totally just skewed out of
It doesn't
proportion.
add up.
All right, what
It should.
happened? Oh, teleporting or blinking will break the lesson.
Could there be like a different category for win rates
Dire's
with
top tower
2 or
is
more
under
of the
attack.
same item?
Yeah, of course. Oh,
Well,
Fear
this is
wants
very
to-
optimistic by Fear. He's like, I'm going to get you. My whole team's here. Then sees 1 TP and decides to just get the hell out.
oh, the Shackle.
Shackle
Oh.
on MSS. Calldown's going to be there. Fog going for the freezing field, but unfortunately just not doing a whole lot of damage. Fog going to be the first one to fall. Jo going to be following him shortly thereafter. MSS very low on health right now. Pops the wand. Dendy comes in, throws the flame break, and secures a kill. Now Universe is the last one standing right now in this particular area as Fear's going to drop 2. So it's 11-33 at 20 minutes into the game. Funnick pops the dust, and the power shot's going to soon see that he is no longer there.
Radiant's top tower is under
And really,
attack.
what do you do?
This is
Yeah.
not even funny.
There's nothing
Like,
you
what,
can
like
do.
what do you do?
What do I do?
I really do feel
Rage
like
at my teammates.
a lot of this game is because they picked a PA.
I don't know. I just feel that still, if they get Empower on the PA and get a good
Radiant's top
RP,
tower has fallen.
the PA could potentially wipe NaVi, even with this disadvantage.
I don't know
However, if
about that.
Jo gets picked like that,
I would say maybe they could have gotten some kind of an advantage if Fear had any damage items, but he only has phase boots. So even with level 2 of coup de grace, he's gonna crit for like 300.
yeah.
I mean,
His crits
that's
are
not
kittens.
very impressive.
No, but then again, if you get 2 or 3,
Radiant's middle tower is
If he
under
blinks in
attack.
and he goes crit, crit, crit,
Dire's
crit,
bottom tower
So
if
he
can
might
get
kill a support.
5-man RP into a quad critting.
Quad-
PA.
Actually, no, he wouldn't even kill a support. That's the thing. Like, look at how tanky Puppy is. He has 1,600 HP.
and there's a mech.
Yeah, and they have a mech. So good luck ever killing
And
anyone.
23 armor as
Dire's
well.
bottom tower
Yeah, that's
Gravekeeper's cloak.
that's a Gravekeeper's
Mad,
cloak.
isn't
Radiant's middle tower
Pretty
has
good
fallen.
ability.
Decent.
It makes Visage incredibly hard to kill as a support because
Yeah.
a lot of carries don't have the capability of breaking that. It's like Refraction in a way.
Yep.
Except it doesn't just take the damage out completely. It just negates it by a whole heck of a lot. And Fog now going There's a lot of birds inside of our base, and Dendy's just casually flying in. He's going to force staff himself out, and Fear just blinks outside of the base. Well, maybe he just said, you know what, let's go for it. Double RP, they're going to find Dendy, and the relocate brings it back. MSS is now by himself. He skewers into the base, but it's not going to save him. Funnick now going for Fog. They will manage to get the kill. 2 down.
What an asshole.
That was like the Fear. He wants the kill on Dendy so bad, he risks it all and ends up not getting it. Dendy gonna get earned back up to health, and the GG comes out. Not really surprised. Pretty short game.
49 kills, 23 minutes. You know, your standard issue Dota.
Yeah.
Well played, NaVi.
Well played. I guess the AK-47s really are the best guns. And the most widely used as well. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna say it, man. I hate PA.
You do?
Like, I really hate the hero.
It doesn't show.
I used to love PA.
Yeah, really.
And then one day I just had an epiphany and I was like, man, this hero really just doesn't do shit. It's just really bad.
Maybe it's you that you just don't have any luck with RNG in general.
Well, that's true. Like, whenever I play Ogre Magi, I actually played an Ogre Magi game the other day on stream, and I didn't get any multicast, but I still won. So I feel like that was a moral victory.
But then you should never skill that ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, you should just go like 4-4-4 and get no multicast.
No multicast and get the acceptor just for having an extra spell.
But PA, incredibly situational pick to begin with. And the only time I feel it ever works is if the other team has like no disables and no magic damage, because then you can not just rush a naked BKB and then hope to be useful. I don't know, man. I don't like that.
James, you seem to love PA. Tell me, please.
Just like, you know, women in that kind of tight, leathery clothing with a mask.
And green.
Yeah, that's why I secretly went to Germany.
That go around disemboweling people. Yeah. That's the best thing about her, is the and the blood. But other than that, yeah.
Loader would have made that PA work. Well, certainly maybe after 15 minutes, he wouldn't be the... He was actually, 15 minutes time, Fear had less net worth than anybody in the NaVi team at 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But I really like that, the kind of picks from both teams in terms of like the big plays. Like when I look at offlaners, like Bounty, Windrunner, Clockwork, for me, superb in terms of what they can do throughout the whole game. Mm-hmm. You know, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, but also, you know, he wasn't played on the offlane, but also the Magnus as well.
Right.
So it should have been, could have been a really good game, but they just, EG needed something going their way, and Jesus Christ, that game was clowny. There was so much just fail everywhere, even some from NaVi as well, I have to say.
Yeah, there was, but I want to go back to the draft and say this about their tri-lane. If you run a defensive tri-lane with a CM and a Wisp, and the other team goes for a Clockwork and a Windrunner, that lane in general, you can't initiate on it because you're either going to get cogged or the Windrunner can just Windrun away. But not only that, they can always contest the pull. And if you pull, Fear's going to be under the tower of the creep wave. And anyway, what are they going to do? They got solo killed twice, basically. Yeah. Fog died. And I think they got a kill on Jo as well. Maybe it was Fog twice. I can't remember. But they lost a couple of supports. And then after that, the lane is already just screwed, right? So then they just leave Fear alone, and then it's like, well...
that was the worst decision, I think.
But they had to.
But it didn't make any sense, because if he desperately needs farm, and you were saying he's terrible to catch up, it's like, well, just leave the PA against Windrunner.
They had to. Go. That's because if they leave those supports there, under-leveled, against the heroes who already got kills, and Clockwork had boots and a wand, and almost arcanes, and Kuro had almost arcanes and boots, then you still don't get any farm.
So how is Fear ever going to get any farm?
He doesn't. You make that sacrifice because you know that it's already a loss.
And you kind of need your supports as well to be able to counter what the Funnick was doing, which was level 6 roam.
Yep. Yeah.
He was getting involved elsewhere, and you need a little bit of backup because you know, I think people still underestimate how powerful battery assault is. It's one of the best scaling abilities in damage. Yeah, so we saw some kills there as well. But anyway, yes, Bruno. One last thing before we go to
commercials. With this loss from EG, Fnatic, Team Liquid, see you at DreamHack Winter.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
There are 2 teams with 6 losses. They have 5 wins, which means that they can only get up to 5 losses. Yeah. So with this, Fnatic and Team Liquid are the first 2 teams to advance to our finals.
Fnatic and Team Liquid. Okay, cool. Good for them. But of course, Team Liquid will be up next, and they'll be going hopefully to see if they can secure over the course of today and tomorrow first place. So when we come back from commercials, we're going to see Team Liquid in action. See you after.
Stop playing, start giving!
What's up guys, I'm AP and I think that the Rise series of mechanical keyboards is perfect for gaming Dota 2. With 5 macro keys and 3 thumbstick keys, I have a lot more options in my reach to take care of Dota 2's peripheral actions. And if that's not enough, I can bind secondary functions to each key thanks to Easy Shift. This, the high quality Cherry MX key switches and the comfortable wrist rest make the Rise series my choice for gaming Dota 2.